took my kids to this bounce place on Saturday, right? It's on North Shore, keep them busy or whatever, right? And it actually was oddly slow, which it never is. It's got trampolines and all this shit, right? And, they have a bunch of young kids working there, and they don't use their fucking heads. So, there was literally no one on this giant erector set with this. And, you got to walk around the place with fucking this stupid gummy socks or whatever, right? So this one area, it was pretty elevated, and fucking there was a safety net underneath, and I thought my 4-year-old would be a little iffy, my daughter. So she was going up there, and he goes, you can't come up here with sneakers on. I said, all right. I kicked off my sneakers. I had these fucking my no-shows. I go to walk. He goes, no, you got to wear the bounce house socks. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And he's a dumb young kid. Like, bro, no one's looking. Don't worry, I'm not slipping. And if I did, I'm not gonna slip. Right. So I'm like, I was gonna be like, yo, she better not get fucked up there. I'm gonna be fucking pissed. Right. She went up and she was fine or whatever. But I'm like, this is just a dumb kid. The point of what I'm making is I got a little hot for a second, right? I'm like, like a cartoon. And there was some dude next to me, and I look at him, he was like, oh shit, right? And then one of my boys, who I haven't seen in 20 years since when I was in construction, as odd as it is, he messaged me on Instagram the other day. And so I'm like, holy fuck, what are the odds of that? I didn't even recognize him. He was sitting in my face for a second, and I'm looking at him and go, why is this dude looking at me? And he's looking at me, he goes, yo, it's Charlie. I said, get the fuck out of here. What are the odds? You just messaged me. Anyway, I hug him like twice and shit. And then after he walked away, the guy who was like this about me over my shoulder was like, so I was nice. It was kind of like the same thing in the park. You got that stupid I have this stupid look on my face.
The guy's crazy.
Like this angry Asian, half Italian dragon. And fucking the guy saw me start talking, But yeah, that was it really. Just fucking, the guy looked at my face. Usually I have that stupid me mug on,
I hear you.
Yeah, but anyway. Yeah, so I was like, I can't believe you gotta have funny stories, but I know you do. But when I fucked you up on the phone before by trying to say that. Yo, so the funny story was what I was telling before, right? I grew up, it's funny because they hear me on Instagram talking about all my signs. So you can see I'm like half a street guy. I'm from New York. I have this goofy New York accent that we have, right? But a lot of them don't realize I'm like my friends, I'm like, you ever see fucking Good Will Hunting? Those are my friends. Literally. Right? Literally. Those are my friends. And, I have so many fucking stuff. So when we were talking about that, I'm thinking about things that we could talk about. And we're at a park, and we were grilling hamburgers. And I don't know, we were young. We're going to have who could eat the most hamburgers, right? So I ate like 5 or 6, and I remember who could chug milk with it. I'm chugging, it was the summer too. Bro, I wound up puking my guts up. I felt like shit. But anyway, we had plates. We stacked all the plates up on one side of a swing. You know the swing thing where you sit back, you go back and forth? And one of the bolts one of the bolts must have been loose on it, bro. It was just so funny because one of my boys sat on the other end, bro. It was like a cartoon. Yo, there'd probably be 15 plates, and they fucking flung up in the air, and they fucking hit him in the head and shit.
That's funny.
It was funny as shit, bro. You had to be there. And then in that same day, you can imagine this. He's pushing another slide, right? Another seesaw thing. And it's the one where you sit in and you face each other. It's like a kid's one. And he's pushing it, and then he fucking pushed it all the way up, and someone was in it. And then he tried to lay on the floor and duck under it. What do you think happened? There wasn't enough clearance between the floor and his head. Bro, he split his fucking head open. I'm like, oh my God. Something just I'll never forget. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, all right. Welcome to another one of my episodes. And my guest today is the Brooklyn Tank, Stefan Neverata. What's up, brother?
What's good, man?
All right. Here we go again. Round 2, right?
Yep.
So he's been in the fitness industry his whole life, jacked. People don't know or do know. He's jacked like this from all crazy body weight workouts. You know what I'm saying? So for people who don't know who he is, which is crazy. I don't know how the fuck if you're in fitness, you don't know who he is, right? Tell us a little bit about yourself. Born and bred Brooklyn. I'm from Long Island, right? Crazy New York guy. So I like to ask a sequence of questions when I start these things, just so people know who you are, right? And just to give a little thought of, okay, that's who the guy is. And I pop off these random questions. What was your favorite pair of sneakers in high school?
Favorite pair of sneakers? Well, probably in high school. I didn't go to high school. So,
there we go, another one.
Junior high school. Guess it was like the Air, Nike Air with the AIR on the side of the sneaker.
Yeah.
or the Ewans, the Patrick Ewans. I forgot who made the Nike Air sneakers. I think it was Deion Sanders. Was it the Deons?
The first one, who you think who made those up?
I'm not sure.
Damn,
I
bro.
don't remember.
You must have grew up in the hood. You even have Deion Sanders. Yeah, but you said growing up though also, right? You were a breakdancer too, right? That's what kind of, it doesn't not make sense to me because how athletic you are, but you breakdance a lot growing up, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I grew up on a bicycle first. So, I was a street kid, like not a bad street kid. I'm talking about a street kid that I wouldn't go home until 8 p.m. at night because I was just on the street.
All of us did that.
Playing manhunt, playing handball. Then I got into bikes, riding bicycles. And I think this is just like, this explains a lot now that I think about it, like how I do calisthenics and I try to do my own thing to it, like my own twist. I try to be original. But I think it's from when I was a child riding bicycles. I didn't just want to just ride a bike. I wanted to do a wheelie. And I just wanted to be, nasty on the bike. I didn't just want to be average on the bike. And I'm have to be like 10, 11 years old at the time. And, I got a certain pair of pegs for the style of riding I would do on the bicycle. Me and my boy Gene Gonzalez, best friends, we would go to a park, Dyker Park, where they had like dirt trails. And he was into dirt. So with bikes, with BMX, there's flatland, there's street, and then there's dirt. Flatland, you have to have a certain type of peg. The peg has to have grip on it so you could do all tricks on the surface. That's flatland, like you do tricks on the middle of the street. Street is when you have the shiny pegs. That's where you could grind on benches, grind down poles, And then you had dirt, which is like you only have pegs on one side, or maybe some people don't even have pegs on the bike when they're riding dirt. That's a lot of tricks.
How much influence did that movie Rad have on you? I know you've seen the movie Rad. Everybody who rode
so that was more like for speed, right?
Yeah, but that was like just an 80s movie with
I
BMX
liked it too
bikes.
because I was looking at the bikes and stuff.
Yeah, it was just a cool 80s movie.
Yeah. So, but that was until I was like 13 years old, riding bikes, but trying to do like some nasty tricks with it too. And I did achieve a few really hard tricks. One was called the Decade, which was tough. Not windmills, that's breakdancing. Fire hydrants. One move is called fire hydrants on the bike. Manuals, nose manuals, endos, all that, riding the bike backwards. So after bikes, played sports, played hockey. Grew up playing hockey, grew up playing football. But nothing really professional, like all on the street, because there was really not much school, or no high school at least. But junior high school, still riding my bicycle. Then I would say like right after junior high school, I started breakdancing. Played the sports, football for the most part, hockey, and then straight into breakdancing. 15, 16 years old. And I did that for about 2 or 3 years.
You were a Smurf.
Yeah, I was a skinny, small kid.
Like
A lot of people don't know that. I was 120 pounds, 5'4". I got a growth spurt. At probably like 17.
Oh, late.
So late. I was happy about that, and that's.
Well, how tall? About 5'10"?
5'10". So
Yeah,
that's
a little
what
bigger than me.
that's what had me to start training. That's when I started training like with weights and stuff like that. But I always incorporated calisthenics.
What led you into though? Like you remember telling me the story first time. Everybody has a moment in their life what turns them into fitness. Whatever. For me, it was when I wrestled. I took off my singlet, and I always had little muscles. I always had that little Bruce Lee body. I told them many times. I looked at the table after I won, and all the girls were like looking at me in 7th grade. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna start doing push-ups and shit. I liked it, and I developed nicely. Like for you, right? I'm asking the question. What was the point where you were like, yo, I want to fucking start getting jacked and doing this?
Well, I guess I would say Bill Goldberg was at home watching wrestling.
Yeah.
16. And he comes out and he just flexes his traps and he just looked like a beast and he just runs down the
You have that memorable
ramp.
moment.
Now, this is exactly what I did. As soon as he did that, I seen his physique. I seen him throwing guys around. I was like, I got to start
want to be
training.
fucking strong.
So my mom had a wall unit with a mirror in it, and I was just looking in the mirror doing push-ups. I just started doing push-ups, and that was it. Then I just wanted to be strong ever since then. So Bill Goldberg was a big inspiration.
You definitely like, you're big. You have muscle like a bodybuilder. And he doesn't do any juice. I know that for a fact. I could tell by little cues that he was saying before. No juice. And we were having this little conversation. I was saying having this conversation with one of my clients. And the client I was saying is one of the smartest guys that I know. Comes out really intellectual shit, like we talk about. Sometimes I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was telling him about you, that all you do is calisthenics and you do, muscle ups and you do, your dips angle a certain way with weight, and we're talking about resistance. And he said that like he doesn't believe that you can't build true foundational strength and longevity just utilizing your body with plate resistance. I didn't argue with him because I wanted to almost save it for your reaction to that, and I want to hear your reaction to that.
Yeah, well, this is what I train for. I train for functional strength, and I train for longevity. So I disagree with him big time. Love to have a conversation with him too. This is, I believe, the strongest you can be training this way. And I also incorporate the jump rope in with my training, so I keep that agility. And I'm not just walking around stiff. I could actually use my strength. There's a lot of guys out there that are jacked, but they can't even move. They can't even throw a punch. That's like a window shopper. Like, that's like a poser. I am against that. If I look good, I better be able to perform good.
Smart.
And most guys, they just look good, but they can't even move, man. They can't put a shirt on. They can't bend over. They're not flexible. What's
Smart.
the point
Just
of it?
because you look big and strong doesn't mean you are truly strong. You might be strong in a straight line, right? So, I was telling you before, like just from wrestling, a little bit and just doing some jiu-jitsu guys, they don't even touch fucking weights. And some of these guys, bro, I'm like, holy fuck, bro. You are like a gorilla. They have that weird functional strength.
Right.
Like, I remember even years before all this science came out with all whatever is today and social media, you can learn so much from what I've said. But I remember, like, I used this guy an example, like, yo, he could fucking literally, he can't bench 135, but he could pick up 315 and throw it through a wall.
I mean,
he was one of those guys.
Doesn't it make sense, right? Bodybuilders, they bodybuild to go pose. To sit on a stage and flex. Awesome. I give them a ton of credit. I respect that. I know the dedication, determination that's behind it. Of course, I'm always going to respect. But a lot of people out there are training for that, but they never want to step on a stage. So why are you training the bodybuilder way? Just so you could look good, but you're still, your functionality, you can't move.
So the one thing to bodybuilding, what I am going to say, right? Because I grew up like primarily bodybuilding. I loved it being jacked, but like I lifted differently. I was like a power bodybuilder. I trained like a fucking
awesome,
like hard, heavy. That's why I have a big fat waist. It was like half powerlifting, not even realizing, but I always just lifted heavy to failure and a little retarded, right? And haphazard. What the fuck was I going to say about that too with the body? Oh, the one thing that I have a lot of respect for, and people might debate on this, like bodybuilding essentially, I'm going to say it's easy to a certain point. You got to just lift heavy weights, train hard to failure. Great. The discipline is with the fucking food, bro.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's where I give these guys credit, because that is the hardest fucking part, is when to get shredded to that point. Like I could get shredded and lean for a pool party in Vegas, which is pretty shredded. I was always the most shredded there. But to get to that shredded, bro, that's like where your brain starts to fucking play tricks on you and you turn into a different person.
I want to be healthy.
That's where I give them a lot of credit for the self-sacrifice and discipline you need. Because, dude, there's like points. I did one show and I was like, yo, fuck this, bro.
Yeah.
I literally became crazy. I started going to the fucking store, became a kleptomaniac. I had no filter on my mouth. It was totally not me. Maybe it was the halotestin I was taking. I don't know, maybe a combination of things. But I started getting batty. But I could definitely respect, though, because, dude, a lot of guys are throwing the towel because you got to eat the same thing and cut it back continuously.
Right.
So that's the marathon of discipline, which is hard. That's where I give them a lot of credit with that.
And that's what it is. It's always about, like, what's the person training for? If you're training to go on stage, then bodybuild, Train the traditional way. Flat bench, dumbbell press, pull downs, cables, you want to be a bodybuilder.
I mean, but bro, at the end of the day, you exercise, you respond great. You're a super responder, clearly, because yes, you are doing resistance exercise and you're big as fuck without taking any steroids. So you definitely have better genetics on the better side. But about being in shape is what you ingest into your body, right?
Of course.
Right. You can't outwork a bad diet.
Oh, no.
So give me an idea, tell people what's your daily rundown, just so they kind of know what you eat. Because we all eat kind of the same shit. It's clean food, well balanced.
So
give me a
basically,
rundown.
You want to set yourself up to have a good day. You want to set yourself up for the next day to get results for that next day and the next year. So the way you set yourself up, the way I like to set myself up, is to have the same breakfast every single morning. This way, if I do go out for lunch, I could cheat a little bit. But this is speaking when I already achieved my goal. When you want to get to your goal, you're going to have to sacrifice. You're going to have to eat a lot at home, or you're going to have to just order some good food from a good place. But it's definitely going to be regimented. You're going to eat the same stuff every day. So every morning I wake up, I have 6 eggs. But before I have the eggs, I have lemon water. right? The lemon water helps you absorb the carbohydrates. A lot of people too skip breakfast. When you're trying to build a body, you should never do fasting. You know, when you're trying to have a healthy body, repair your cells and stuff, yeah, fasting could be great. But I tell people when they're trying to build a body, no, you build a muscle, so it's going to require carbohydrates, it's going to require protein, it's going to require you to not skip any meals. So you definitely don't want to skip breakfast. And I always felt best training at like 11 a.m. So I have breakfast at like 7. So I'll wait sometimes 4 hours after I'm done eating my breakfast. This way I'm fully, so my digestive system is not at work as much anymore, you know? So now I could let that blood flow and get a good pump with my workout, get the most out of
that's
my workout.
almost optimal. You have food in your body. You know,
Yeah,
you learn your body. Like there's different times.
Yeah.
Like I used to be able to get away with training earlier. Like with no food in my body, as I get older, things got to be a little different. I got to be hydrated and
Right.
with some glycogen. But like, dude, obviously you didn't always eat like that, and nor did I eat the way I did. But growing up,
just to not get off topic. So say if I were to eat at 7 a.m. and then I would train at 8 a.m., I'm not going to have an efficient workout at 8 a.m. because my body's still trying to digest. So all the blood in my body is going to my digestive system, so it could try to digest that food.
Absolutely.
So that's why I like to wait at least 2 hours before training. But yeah, every meal has a protein, you know, because my goal is not to be shredded. I just want to be strong. So I'm eating to be strong. So everybody got to know what they're eating for, you know? So I'm eating for strength. So I don't worry about the fat intake that I'm getting, the carbohydrates. I just want quality food. I'm not going to have no bullshit chicken from KFC or something. I'm going to have pasture-raised chicken. The same thing with my eggs. I'm getting organic pasture-raised eggs. The meat I get, grass-fed, grass-finished. I'm not getting it from the supermarket. I'm going to a butcher. So, you know, this is what we're putting in our body. I want the best shit in my body. You know, you got a sports car. You're not going to go put regular gas in it. You're going to make sure the oil's on point. So that's what I do. I make sure my sleep is on point, my nutrition's on point, my training.
you do that. You go to the butcher, you get grass-fed, grass-finished.
Oh, yeah. A lot of my money goes
towards the food.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you notice when you eat good, bro, you perform good. So,
Right.
what I didn't know, though, is you all talk about training. You primarily, what you're telling me, is almost like a powerlifter with body weight movements, essentially, focused on numbers more than appearance.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Focus. Absolutely.
You don't
couldn't
ever
say it better.
diet to shred, ever.
Never, ever.
Really?
Not that I'm going on vacation. I don't
You
care.
do so much burning, though, with the fucking cup. And how many times a week you said? I remember you said you only train like 3 times a week?
Yeah. Right now, 3 to 4 because I just need that much more
You
to,
never do 5?
to recover. Never do 5. Never.
When I say like 3 days off, I'm talking like off.
Oh, yeah.
Like zero.
Completely off. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like if we go to the beach and there's a pull-up bar there, I'll take a quick video.
That doesn't count.
IG.
You know what I'm saying?
Just
like,
a quick video.
I fucking hate active recovery. What are we talking about? You mean active
My active
recovery?
recovery is the jump rope.
You know what? I have pet peeves also, right? Like, I fucking hate these stupid terms that they come up
Right.
like, your refeed. What do you mean your refeed? You mean you just ate more food of the food you've been eating? I carb loaded and ate more calories? Dick.
Right.
I hate all these stupid sayings they have now because fucking whatever. And you know what else,
Confuses
Reddy?
a lot of people too.
Also this, right? When you were a kid growing up, how did you learn? Let me ask you this.
Self-taught.
How'd you learn?
Myself.
Self-taught.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no.
These young kids know shit, and I don't want to get into the story why I realized this, but dude, I learned every motherfucking thing reading and then trying when I was young. I didn't have a bodybuilding coach. Now everybody has a fucking bodybuilding coach who looks like a fucking guy who just got off the line at KFC, right? Who's feeding these kids a 20 years old trend. Oh, how much knowledge you have now, motherfucker? You're giving a kid trend. You have no knowledge. These kids should. I asked this one kid something. I'm like, how do you not know that? Do you know you know how easy it was? I'm going to give the best analogy ever. If you take someone's dick and they put it into a vagina and blow a load, what comes out in 9 months? I don't know.
Right.
That was the answer I should have got. I went, this is what I got. That's what I got.
Wow.
You know why? They were like, what do I do next, coach? And you have a guy who hasn't seen his dick since the 80s telling him how to diet. And I fixed
A lot
this
of
one.
misinformation out there.
That's putting it out nicely, what you
Right.
say. They don't know what the fuck they know.
Yeah.
Learn some shit on your own.
Right.
We learned everything on our own, bro.
Do your own research.
But that's why you look like the way you do at fucking 40.
Right.
Because you did everything on your own, is the point of what I'm saying.
I always try listening to older people that been in the game for a while and just try to do what they do. You know, isn't it a saying? You want to be the best, train like the best, right? You want to be a great basketball player, follow what Kobe Bryant does, right? He talks about training at 3 a.m, this and that. So to be the best, follow the best, do what they do.
I mean, like, listen, honestly, if Hani Rambod wasn't Hani Rambod, like, and he's produced many bodybuilders, obviously, so what he does works. But, like, yo, like, these other guys, I'm like, you're listening to him, bro? Like, I wouldn't listen to shit from this dude.
Right.
Look at what he looks like. And this is a guy probably telling you this information who just ate a deli hero with a piece of the lettuce from his turkey club still sitting on his shirt. Seriously.
Right.
So my thing is this, why I'm saying that, if you want to preach that shit, you got to, like, live that shit. Like, how many times do you go to a gym? Well, you don't really go to a gym, but, like, I go to a gym, I see fat trainers. I'm like...
Oh, when I was going to a gym a couple days a week, right, just to go in the sauna and stuff, I would look around. 99% of people don't know what the hell they're doing. It's insane. The moment I see somebody with their phone and they take out and they time their rest period in between their sets, then I'm like, all right, that person knows what's up.
Oh, okay.
You know?
I thought you were going to bang on it first. No, they know what they're doing.
Because you have to time your rest. You want to, because this is the type of game it is. When you want to be the best, it takes 100%. You need to be precise with your training and nutrition. And just to bring it back to nutrition, you know, so you asked me what I ate. I didn't give you the full real.
Oh, I'm sorry. I cut you off. Go.
So we got 6 eggs, oatmeal, and a coffee, right? That's my breakfast. Then I train. After my training, I usually have ground beef, grass-fed, grass-finished, white rice, little sauerkraut, cayenne pepper, salt. I also do that on my eggs. It's cayenne pepper, Redmond sea salt, not no bullshit, table salt or pink Himalayan bullshit. I have a cookie sometimes because, again, I don't care to lose weight.
You burn so much it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I got to chill because I know I will be strong if I keep the fats down a little bit, keep that unnecessary sugar from the cookies. You know, it's bullshit, but I'll be precise soon. So I do that for lunch. Then I'll have maybe a coconut water midday. Come here, have a couple clients, go home. I'll have a piece of salmon with half a sweet potato. Sometimes I have more eggs. Sometimes I have 12 eggs for the day. I'll have another 6 eggs with a sweet potato.
It's fast, the eggs.
You know? Yeah, and then every night, for the most part, my morning and my nighttime is the same. Every night I have yogurt, plain 5J yogurt, 0%. I'll put a little cinnamon, turmeric in there, some dark chocolate chips. That's my late night snack, but I do it every day. I feel like that
You're
probiotic.
a robot.
Yeah. I feel like that probiotic helps me really digest.
You know, like, obviously what I was going to say, we've honed into this, and I follow the same routine you do, essentially. I eat the same, I tell people and my clients on the phone, I eat the same, like, 10 things. But I know how to make them taste good, and to be shredded, you don't have to be miserable, and these are things that I teach you. Everybody has the misconception that, you know, you got to eat tilapia out of a fucking Ziploc bag with broccoli to be shredded, and that was the truth, what I used to do. I really did. It's a true story.
You definitely
I learned from
like
Sal
that,
DeChocho. Sal DeChocho drove a white LSC. He was the typical fucking Brooklyn, Long Island Guido, typical. Lived up the block from me. He was jacked out of his mind, right? He, like, touched a syringe, and he grew muscle on top of muscle, but fucking... You know, he's the one, and that's what I was doing. I was sitting at construction, freezing my balls off on a deck job, eating fucking tilapia out of a bag. I'm like, yo, I want to slit my wrist. So I figured out a way where I just wanted to be more fit and in shape all the time. And I figured out a way where it tastes good. So this is something that I tell my clients. You have to enjoy what you eat, otherwise you're not going to stay on it.
Right.
But, of course, is this. We've honed into this, and I grew up not eating that way when the goal was what you were saying before about calories in. And me growing up half Korean, half Italian, my house was filled with Korean. Yo, my house was a comedy show growing up, bro. Yo, my mom was like Korean. Like, my friends who meet me they come over like, because they see me like this, and people don't really believe I'm Korean. You can see a little bit in my eyes. I'm like, not from this fucking nose that I got.
But
you know what I'm saying?
House, they know.
But I'm fucking like... They're like, wow, you're really Korean. I'm like, yeah, bro. Like, my mom's broken English the whole 9, but I grew up with, like, real Korean food in my house. And my dad's as Italian as you could get. So I had a good mixture of it. Yeah. But growing up in my house, bro, I had rice as a staple and pasta. So, yo, I went crazy. Bro, I was eating, like, rice and spaghetti and meatballs. It was
crazy
fun.
On the carbs.
And that's what I used to do, though. I used to fucking eat like a motherfucker to get big in anything. And I remember when I was younger, a goal of mine, I used to eat a steak, a jar of peanut butter, or any chopped meat, whatever it was, and a gallon of milk every day. That was my goal. But growing up, my house was fucking wacky. I had a crazy older brother. I was telling you, my mom used to bounce shit off his head, yelling in Korean at him.
I used to have Milano cookies every night.
You know?
Milano cookies.
But yeah, we didn't eat like that all the time, you know.
Yeah.
So you know, we both come up very. I'm sure your type of family's very Italian too. That's from whatever else you told me about
Right.
before, right? There was always food going up, and I remember growing up at some of the best memories of like food memories, like my uncle's house, right? I go to my uncle's house, and they're like super Italian, bro. And I was saying, like, you know, what people don't know is like Italian people when they invite you over for like a day, like, you know, for like a meal. It's not a meal; it's a fucking day. It's like an orchestrated fucking layout of different meals. You got the antipasto, then you got the pasta, and then my aunt makes this ravioli lasagna, bro. It's the sickest thing. You just fucking, you get fatter for a month by just looking at it. Sausage, gravy, not tomato sauce, gravy, right? And then cappuccinos and the desserts. And I know, dude, I used to eat that shit like all the time, bro.
Yeah.
But, you know, people don't realize when I tell them, when you want to get big, you got to fucking eat, motherfucker.
Absolutely. When you're building a body, you got to eat.
Yeah, you built this body, though, not eating measured salmon.
No, never. But I did use MyFitnessPal for a couple months just to get an idea of what my body needs to maintain a 200-pound physique. And that's what I'm doing now. I have 3 meals. Each meal has a protein. I was having shakes. I don't even have shakes anymore, man. I do take
It's honestly
creatine.
better that you don't, because
No shakes. Yeah, just yogurt every night. Yeah, 3
the
meals.
thing though
with
is
about
this,
2
right?
snacks.
So like when I structured my online training thing, I try to make it as easy as possible and sustainable. So sustainable. This is a whole other conversation we could have about. Is you and I have been doing this for so fucking long, and why we look at this is because we like what we do, and you can do it. Yeah, it takes a little bit of work with the food or whatever it is, right? No, it's not fucking a donut from Dunkin' Donuts, but we enjoy what we eat. But with the clients, they think it's this unreachable thing with the food, and it's about being consistent and sustaining it over time. And people are like, oh, you say consistent? Yeah, motherfucker, I say consistent.
Yeah.
Because you have to like it.
I want to feel
good.
good.
Motherfucker. So this is it, right? So social media is filled with bullshit. And I know, and I would gather that you see things in the same view that I do. And if fucking now that I'm pretty new, I'm not new, but like relatively, you've been involved in it a lot longer. And my boy Keith would be like, yo, it's filled with bullshit. And now that I really see how much bullshit, people monetize on people's minds and manipulate them and tricking them. Meanwhile, the fucked up thing is that I know the reality of what they're doing and tricking people and lying just to make fucking money. And the draw to me is that I'm real and honest. I'm too honest, almost to a negative.
Yeah.
But the sick thing is that I see them. And you can't sustain the shit that they do. And they're like, I'm going to preach this shit. I'm going to fucking eat some Adderalls. I'm going to sniff some phentermine, lose some body fat, tell people stop eating at 2 o'clock. You know who I'm talking about. And fucking trick people. Meanwhile, it's not sustainable. You think fucking, you know, you look on the shit, there's people complaining. They live in a bubble of a world. You think, let's look at it. Let me ask you this. Where are most people at 2 p.m. in the afternoon? Where we live. Where are they?
Right, working.
Working. Where are you? On a fucking farm. Right. You're not the normal person. Where are you? You're probably cooking your ribeye, grilling asparagus. You're going to stick a dildo in your fucking ass, go back on your couch, preach your shit on Instagram, tell all the people about stars aligning with the moon, your vagina, spear, fuck all this primal bullshit. Fuck you. All right? Bullshit is what I'm saying. And I see this so many people. What's this all about primal bullshit? The first motherfucker who came out with primal bullshit is the biggest liar on the social media platform.
Right.
He had, you know what makes him fucking wrong? He thought about this is almost like a premeditated murder. He knew what he was going to do. I'm going to shoot juice into my body, do this fucking caveman shit, lift like an idiot, say I eat raw balls, and do this. I'm sure it does have some benefit. There is some science to it. It does work a little bit, but he manipulated people's minds into the wrong direction.
Right. And I think it's a little too much. Like, what do you want to live till you're 200 years old? Like, I don't know.
I got another goofball on that.
You know,
Go
like,
on.
I like balance in my life. I like to enjoy food. So when I'm home, I'm on point. When I go out, I can eat whatever I want. You know, I'm not training to be a body. I'm training to be strong. I have a happy, healthy life, you know. And
Your output's crazy, though. You burn more calories than a regular
but
lifter.
again, 3 days a week, right?
Yeah.
3-4 days a week. It's not bad. My workout today was 45 minutes.
That's the thing, though, what people don't realize. Like, okay, you take a bodybuilder, right? They burn, they lift hard, right? And the thing about exercise, let's revert back to exercise. And I have a weird ability to absorb shit. So years ago, I read this book called, it was a Bulgarian Russian book. And, you know, those guys are innovators of lifting
very
and weight
smart,
and decides. Okay.
Very, very strong.
So if you take an exercise, just say we're working the identical muscle groups, but it's the plane of range of motion where you do the movement. So let's take a lat pull down and a pull up. What's more stimulatory to your central nervous system?
Yeah,
the pull up. Hence, stimulating what? More muscle growth. Hence, what? Burning more calories equals you could eat a cookie and stay lean.
Yeah.
Right?
Gotcha. Yeah, it makes sense. And just the functionality to it, you know?
That's what builds the strength, though.
Yeah. But, you know, I would even go with people, you know, they should do lat pull downs too if they are trying to be strong at pull-ups. Lat pull downs are amazing.
As like an accessory to
Oh,
it.
yeah, of course, because a lot of people skip the steps too. You know, they just want to do pull-ups. Take your time.
Let me ask you your opinion. Not to cut you off. Band work. How do you feel about band work, incorporating bands?
So good, man. It's going to help you engage the muscles needed for that particular movement. Even so, say if it's pull-ups, you know, it's going to help you identify. It's going to help you, you know, really tune into the exact technique you need. Because, man, it is not just one thing that's required to do an efficient pull-up where you're using your back and your biceps. You know, you're going to have to do about 4 or 5 different steps. So that band, that extra assistance, helps you recruit all those muscle fibers you're looking for during a pull-up, right? So your mid-back, your lats, your rear delts even, your biceps, your core. You got to keep your feet together, squeeze your butt, because if your legs are bent, it's causing more instability. It's going to be harder. You want to be a complete pin, like straight up and down, you know? This is how you're going to move the easiest.
You know, like, tell a little funny. So, like, it was almost an ego thing, right? Where I wouldn't use bands in a gym to assist me with pull-ups because I have a torn lat. When we were like, oh, I have a torn lat, so I'm doing pull-ups with the torn lat. You
I'm
know?
like that too. You
but
don't
I
want
would
to use
do
the
that,
band,
right?
yeah, but
until they came to the point where I told you that story when I went to Vegas and I clipped those dudes out from my skill that I learned. Then now I don't give a fuck what I lift.
Right.
And I don't
capable
care
of.
about anything like that. I have some abs, I have a good physique, and I do that, and I don't care if I could do pull-ups and I need a fucking band. Go fuck your mother.
Right.
Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? But years ago, I'd be like, yo, I gotta fucking, you know, I gotta show up.
There's a lot of technique, and that's one thing I feel like why I excelled in calisthenics is because I stayed humble and I listened to people that were better than me. You know, I'm not the strongest. I never be the strongest, but I followed the strongest.
I mean, dude, you told me you benched 405 at what? How old?
18, 405.
Dude, I never even, I'll be
rep.
dead honest. So I was strong. I should, but like, dude, like, people don't realize, like, to talk about weights. And I'm not a big person. I'm not. But I was very strong, like, with the contractile proteins, my muscles, and I don't think that's why I got hurt so much. Maybe it was a combination with the steroids I did. Maybe, I don't know. And my dad was very, very strong. But I never benched 405. But the difference from putting 315 to 405 on your body, and I remember someone saying this before I did it, like, dude, your whole body has pressure on it. And yes, there's a give and take, meaning relative to my size, right? Take someone like Michael Hearn, 405 is like, reverse presses it. But like when I went from doing 315 to 405, I'm like, whoa.
Right.
This is fucking heavy. I never benched 405.
Yeah.
I never even tried to.
I had 225 for like 33 reps.
Yeah, that's crazy. I never did that. I would do like 20, but not like that.
But I have to tell you, man. So let's just. I'm going to use boxing as an example. You have someone that's boxing for 5 years against a kid that's been doing it since he's 4. The kid that's been doing it since he's 4, right, is more likely is going to win. It's different. It's very different. So that's me in a sense. Although I haven't been doing calisthenics, right, since I'm a kid. I started calisthenics when I was like 21, I would say, because I was incorporated with the weight training. But what got me to this strength was my childhood. You know, yeah, I have good genetics. My dad was a big guy. But honestly, like, to have a strong upper body, you really need strong hands and a strong wrist. This way that energy could travel and you could really alert all other muscle fibers to wake up. But your foundation is really most important, especially for legs. You need strong ankles to support the weight, right? If you're squatting, yeah, you need a strong lower back, mid back to support the weight as well. But ankles, your feet. So that's why I'm huge in skip and rope. But again, the reason why I excelled in calisthenics and also that bench press that we're talking about is because of my childhood. So when I was riding bikes, it's very active. You got to press the brakes. I'm using my hands a lot. Then when it went into breakdancing, forget it. Breakdancing is a body weight exercise. My wrist are really thick and strong from breakdancing. My friend Gennaro,
That's how you build up your wrist strength.
shout
Funny.
out to B-Boy Form, my brother. You know, he taught me a lot with breakdancing. He has a six-pack on his wrist. His wrist
Really?
all crazy strong, and he cannot
He
hit
could go
anybody.
like he's got muscles all flying through
when
your wrist.
I
never
when I
even
make
thought
a
of
fist,
that.
it feels like I'm holding a hammer in my hand. You know, and I feel like that's the strength you want to have if you are looking to be as strongest that you can be. You need that wrist strength, and that's what helped me. Because when I grab that bar, everything is nice and stable. There's
you
no
got
weak.
you got huge upper arms, and you got big forearms as well. But if you look at my arms, I don't have big upper arms, but I have very big forearms.
Yeah, man.
Right? But like my wrists and hands are still to this day very strong. Not the rest of my body. It didn't stay, but my hands and wrists. I think it was all those years of doing construction. I've told this story before.
Construction
When
work.
I used to do these big wire feeds, and like there was no machine on certain corners or a pulley you could put, so I was the fucking pulley.
Right.
And I remember I'd have a walkie-talkie here, and since I was a kid, or I was on the corner, I'm like, fuck, I'd have to hold the cable, right? It wasn't retarded, but it's heavy.
Still,
but I had
yeah.
to keep shifting hands to my thigh, to my hand. My arms were on fire, bro, for hours.
Yeah. Every
But
day.
dude, my hands got so strong from that. That's why sometimes I tell people, I'm like, yo, I could deadlift 225 with two fingers, and I actually almost fucked up my forearm.
Yeah,
doing it
a lot of,
but like
extensive
I could pull it, 3/4 with two fingers. I do 185 with like one finger. They're like, get out of here. And me not knowing, I'm like, is that strong really? And then this big motherfucker went to do it. I'm like, holy shit, he couldn't do it. But I have really big wrists.
Yeah,
and I don't
that's
have
important.
really big hands, but I have thick hands.
Right.
It's from all that strength. So I've read something one time. I'm asking you this. They kind of correlate hand and wrist strength to longevity. Do you believe that?
Wow.
Yeah.
So I have a client, 90 years old. I had him doing dead hangs as an exercise. We were just taking it light. That's how everything should always be, especially in the beginning stages when you first meet somebody. You got to feel them out. You don't want to push it too much, especially if they have no background in training. So long story short, he got up to a 45-second dead hang, 90 years old. I think it does. It could correlate because it's showing you could hang on for a duration of time, with your body weight, 150, 200 pounds. So, yeah, that's interesting.
What you're saying
believe it.
also, the thing, right, with I was never a great jump roper, though. Even when I boxed and did all that shit, like the best I could do was probably like 3 minutes straight and then take that minute off like a round. And then like halfway through that next round, I'd start to fuck up because my lower calf and my feet.
Gotcha.
And I'm like, holy shit, maybe I start jumping roping more, get that foot strength.
You didn't do it enough, that's all.
Yeah,
So
you could jump up for like 40 minutes probably.
I did an hour straight.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, that was my
I know
record.
box, like my boy Chris Algieri could go like this for an hour. I'm
Yeah.
like, how the fuck
And
do you
that's
do
just from shifting my body weight. That's how I'm able to do it in an hour. So if I was to do both feet jumping at the same time, both calf muscles are going to get equally
Roasted.
fatigued. So when you shift your body weight, one calf muscle rests. One side of your body rests for 2 reps.
That still wasn't
And the
enough for
other
me.
side. But it comes down to consistency, man, and never giving up. Honestly, it sounds corny. It sounds like everybody always says that, but it is the truth. You can't give up till you achieve the goal. So I set that goal to do an hour. I trained for it, sets of 5 minutes. It was easy. I didn't really train, I want to do an hour, so I did 20 minutes here and then another 20 minutes. I just said, I'm going for it today. But also, your calves were probably swelled up after that 3 minutes. That's when you should have stretched your calves, stretch them a little bit, and then get back and try to do,
You know what I
4 more
also
sets in
now
3
thinking
minutes.
about, most of the time when I was jumping rope, it wasn't on a dead hard surface like this. It was always on a mat that I'd give. It roasted my calves out.
Very, very difficult. Right.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
So that was 90% of my jumping rope.
Right.
I didn't jump rope on a hard surface. I do remember when I would jump rope on a hard surface on my own, I'm like, yo, I could clip out more of a duration of time.
And it's crazy.
It's almost like running on the sand,
right.
what I was doing.
Right.
If you think about it.
It's so interesting, man, because I can't jog for an hour, right? But I could jump rope for an hour. How's that? It's just because different muscles are recruited. And, so if I'm running now, it's different muscles that aren't active. So now I'm alerting them, I'm waking them up. They're going to get fatigued fast. They are not used to this. So when Conor McGregor fought Mayweather, I knew it was going to be under. I knew that fight was not going over. It was a knockout or it was going to be under because McGregor is so conditioned on rolling on a mat and maybe jumping rope on a different surface mat. That boxing ring gives. You're familiar with the boxing rings. I boxed, I sparred. I sparred. So the ring would give a lot. So when McGregor got into that ring, he got fatigued. He wasn't used to that absorbing ring, moving around.
I just knew
ring.
Mayweather was going to win on skill because the way he fights, though, it's
that's
like
my favorite fight of all
Conor
time.
McGregor won. He's not a professional boxer, even though he can box, not a professional boxer.
Yeah, right.
Floyd Mayweather's a professional,
But
one of the
still
best
caught
boxers
him.
at the time.
Still caught him.
No, he hit him a bunch of times. There is no tape. He did
amazing
phenomenal.
athletes, right?
Freak athlete. No, people don't really realize. And Mike
Jeez.
Tyson actually on a post, he goes, "Yo, Conor McGregor went 10 rounds with the best fighter."
Sick.
Are people really digesting that?
Right.
No, so this is the thing even about Mayweather. Even though I don't love his style of fighting, I like someone like
A Tyson. Or
like my boy Chris Algieri fought this guy Ruslan Provodnikov, and he actually beat Ruslan, but he was just going with his head. It's not the smartest way,
Right,
but it's
right,
like
right.
it's
Mayweather's the
entertaining,
smartest, right.
you know. But
Gotcha.
what people don't realize is the way Floyd Mayweather fought was. They're like, yo, the guy's doing good. I'm like, no, he's not. He's just reading his pattern. You say, I go, by the 4th, 5th round,
Yeah.
he lets him in. He's reading it, gets hit a little bit, and then all of a sudden, I'm like,
course.
yo, by the 5th round, it
Technician.
looks like Matrix. He knows what he's going to throw before he throws it, and then he just starts tagging him, like, and then he
Sick.
puts you to bed. So that's why I always tell people, I'm like, yo, he's winning. It's like, he's just, he's that good.
Right.
But anyway, to the training aspect of everything that we're talking about, right? Like, and I know why you talk about training so much. You want the future clients for your brand to know what you do and what you are. Correct?
Yes.
Am I right? So like, everything you do is for strength stuff. Let me ask you, how do you think your muscle endurance is overall that correlates to?
Well, it depends if I'm training for muscle endurance. Right now I've been training for strength. My muscle endurance was great, like my push muscle endurance when I would do burpees. I would do friggin' 500 burpees in a day. It was stupid. I learned a lot about fitness from doing it. Doing these crazy routines and exercises. Like the burpee, it's so much jolting on your brain. It's rattling. It's hitting the wall of your head. Your brain keeps moving. It's not that good. You're going to get dizzy. You could pass out.
So like,
it's like small concussions.
The one thing that like, I've been doing this a long time. We're going to continue to do exercise. It's like my crack cocaine. It's like cocoa for America for me. There's no way I'm giving it up. I love it that much. Even though like I got hurt recently, I'm dejected. I'm like, fuck this. I got to take time off. I know the reality. It's impossible for me. Right. I love it. And it's a great fucking habit.
This is your body. This is your car that you drive every day.
But like how I adjusted my training, because I can't lift like you anymore. Like I almost had the idea of, let me do some dips. Brooklyn's fucking dips I can do. Dude, I can't. It's over. There's all shit going on my shoulder.
Well, back to the bands. That's when you should use a band.
Right.
Then
that's
take
what
it light.
I started doing, so I could kind of do the movement, right?
A lot of technique behind it.
So what I work on now, I'm very good at reps. So like I could do a ridiculous amount of reps with something. That's what I focused what I could be strong on.
Yep.
No, I can't push fucking 405 anymore on my back, and my knees will rip apart. But I could do 185 for 50. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right. It all depends on what the person's goal is,
Yeah, but like you said, I get fun out of, and not a lot of people do this. Maybe I do. I train. I have my own gym also at my house. Not like this motherfucker, but it's good. And I like to test myself. I talk to myself, and like it's quiet in there.
That's why you.
And I'm like, yo, two more. You could do 2 more. Not everybody does that, but I really enjoy having that self.
Absolutely.
It's fun.
That's why I like training by myself sometimes too. I really get to tune in with the music.
Yeah, bro, it's good for your head.
Yeah.
100%. And also a lot of days, bro, like I have a lot of fucking mental torment in my head from the way I grew up, my family and all that shit. And my wife knows. She goes, go work out.
Right.
Go work out. I come back a different person, bro.
Right.
I come back a different person. And it's such a part of me that like I need it for my head, and it sets up my day. I come back, bro. You'd be like, yo, who the fuck are you? You went back out there like you were going to fucking be the next Ted Bundy. I come back like, I'm golden now, but I need it for that. I'm sure you're the same way.
Right.
And I remember last time you were telling me you have a lot of incidences in your life that made you turn to fitness.
I guess it all started when my dad told my mom he can't be with her anymore because he had HIV and didn't want to give it to her. So they kind of broke up. It's more sad than anything. So my mom, 6 months, a year later, she meets somebody. My dad has us in the car, rolls up on my mom. It's like 5 a.m. My mom was out, right, with her sisters hanging out. My dad basically left her 6 months ago, a year. She don't know what to think. But my dad's doing a point. He don't want to give her a disease. He has HIV.
That's fucking crazy, bro. You didn't say that last time.
Right. So they wind up fighting right there. My stepfather, Pat, but he wasn't my he was just some guy. So I'm in the back seat of the car looking at this. They're fighting. They're getting it on. Both two tough motherfuckers getting it on, rolling down the driveway. Street fight. Rolling. My dad was in the army, so he cornered him. My dad had like glass bottles Like, he stopped at a garbage pail, got fucking glass, like Snapple bottles, and started chucking
Your
them.
biological father.
My real dad, yeah. So they're fighting. My mom winds up getting arrested, gets out of the handcuffs. We're at my aunt's house, right? We're all hanging out, all the kids. I have a bunch of cousins, we're all the same age. My mom comes to the house. Really don't remember that much after that, but fast forward about a year, 2 years. My dad's cool with Pat. Pat's cool. He's raising me to be a man, but still there's alcohol in the family. There's drugs. Me and my sister are finding straws in the house. We're talking to each other.
Not
my
stupid.
sister's 2
You know
years
what's
older.
up.
I still didn't know because I'm probably like 13, 12 at the time. But now fast forward 2 years, right? I'm 15 years old. My sister's coming out of the shower. There was a lot of arguments in the house. Not really like physical fighting, but like say if we would hear an argument, we would go into the door, make sure mom's all right, Now I'm 15, 16, probably 15. And my sister's coming out of the shower. My step-pops came off the couch. They were arguing, him and my mom. And he like closed the door on my sister. And I felt like my sister fell. I just heard her like scream. So I looked on the table. There was a huge ashtray, huge fucking ashtray, glass. I picked it up. He's walking back towards the living room. I turn the corner. He turns the corner. I smash him right in the face with the ashtray. His whole face came off. Goes to the couch, starts flicking through the channels. My mom's like, come on, I'm going to the hospital. We all go to the hospital together. Never said nothing to me. I think he might have said it's okay, like when we got back. But I never even said sorry, Like
You probably knew it was deserved.
I was just kind of in shock too,
How old were you?
I was 15.
Oh, you're a kid.
Small. And I was always small until I was 17, 18. That's when I got to be like 170, 180 pounds. But I was like 5'4", 5'5".
You're a little kid.
Yeah.
You had a growth spurt later.
Right. Then, fast forward 2 years after that, maybe 3, 18 years old. Another story with my step-pops. My mom's with her sisters. He's in the house, whacked out. Now, I grew up in a house where it's like room after room, like the railroad type style
Yeah,
house.
sure.
So he cornered me like in my bedroom. Oh, you gangster guys are pussies. Oh, you gangster calling me a gangster. I'm 17, 18. I'm selling like a little bit of weed.
child.
Right? So it has a knife. All you gangster, big ass knife. All you gangster guys are pussies. So I don't know what to do. I dive right under his legs, get out, run out of the house, stay with my friends that night. Then, I never told my mom until I think I told her like 2 years ago. She's like, why didn't you never tell me this? I'm like, why didn't you tell you that, Ma? Just would have made things harder.
Toxic household.
Yeah. So now my dad passes. My stepdad brings me the news, comes to my bedroom, tells me I fall on the floor crying, my dad. Then 6 months later, he dies from cancer.
Your biological father
Yeah, he died.
died of cancer.
No, my dad died of a heart attack.
He had a heart attack. So your biological father had HIV and then died of a heart attack.
Yeah, and then, my dad kind of gave up on life because of the HIV, I feel like. And he was
Felt like he was that
leaning
sounds
towards drugs. But you see this rage, this anger, right? So now at this age, 17, I was going out to clubs at an early age. So like when something would pop off, I was so fast to like hurt somebody because I had all this rage inside me, Like I was never picking on anybody and I was never looking for a fight. But the first asshole, is going to get it. And when you go out, you know how it is. 50% of the time, you're going to have a fucking drunk asshole,
Yeah, I know.
Trying to
Well, we went out,
trying to
fucking-
bully you, And somehow I always got bullied. Maybe it's because I smile a lot, so people always try to
Nah,
test me.
just threw you the nice.
But then I'm the bad guy after I hit them, Like that happened a lot. But yeah, so step-pops passed. My mom's broken, no money. My dad was in the army, but she don't get money until she's 60. At the time, my mom's probably like 45. So now I got to up my game up. I got to be strong. I'm on 13th Avenue I grew up on. So there's a lot of people selling weed. Now you got to be strong. You got to be tough. Or else these kids are going to say, you can't sell weed. Who the fuck you? Give me that shit. So I had to be that guy to put my foot down and say, I'm selling here. I'm selling to this kid. He's going to work for me. He's going to sell, 8s for me, 7 grams. It really wasn't even that at the time. It was like 50s, 3 for 50. It was 20 bags, It was never really quarter ounces. If you wanted something, you could buy an ounce, But, yeah, and just robbing drug dealers. We would wait on a drug dealer's house. We know who's going to see that drug dealer, another drug dealer. We would just follow that car. Sometimes it was easy. We would just take whatever in that car, pull them over, Sometimes they would leave it in there. They would go in the house, but the bags are left in the car, in the back seat, not even the trunk. Break the window, you know. Stupid, grimy shit like that I'm really not proud of, but that's how I grew up.
It's okay.
You know.
We all have those stories. Well, you and I have those stories.
Yeah. My boy Rob T was a big club promoter. This is probably one of the craziest childhood memories I have. I'm 16, 17. We're at a club. We're at a bar. It's called Judge and Jury at the time. It's on 79th Street and 3rd Avenue. And I'm not going to say their names. I'm with two guys that knew my dad. So now I'm young. These guys are older. They're in the bar. I shouldn't even be at the bar. But again, my boy Roy Gann is DJing there. So I'm there just looking around, you know, whatever. So we're outside. My boy, the guy that knew my dad, he gets into an altercation with somebody. Kid two-pieces him. We get into his car. He had a sick car, E63. We drive to go pick somebody up, right? A big fucking jacked kid. Now, they're friends with my dad. My dad played hockey. There's a hockey stick in the back seat of the car. So I'm like, I got the hockey stick. So we're rolling back up on these kids, right? Now, their car's parked in front of the bar, Judge and Jury, right? We're at the red light. This kid crashes right into the back of the car, gets out, starts punching the driver. I said, when we were going there, I said, I'm taking the hockey stick. I'm the smallest kid. The big kid grabs the hockey stick. So now we all get out of the car, right? We all get out of the car. He crashes in the back. He's punching the driver, right? As he's doing that, the big kid we picked up, he swings the hockey stick. The kid goes like this. Boom. He catches it with his arm. The big kid takes off. We went to pick this kid up for firepower, you know, to help us in the fight. He takes off. So now I know
he ran.
So now I know there's a kid with a hockey stick just lingering around looking for someone to hit. But I see my friend now getting stabbed. So he's punching the driver. What happens is the kid in the back seat of that car grabs his arm. The driver takes out a knife while the kid is holding his arm and stabbing my boy. Stabbing him 7 times in the arm. So I see this. I got to do something. So I punch the driver knowing that a guy with a hockey stick is bound to hit me, right?
Around. I'm going to get...
I hit the driver. I get hit with the hockey stick. Now, I'm like knocked out, but I'm awake. I'm running, but it's only a matter of time I collapse, right? So as I get hit with the hockey stick, I look my friend. My friend gets out, gets into his car. The guy stabs his tire. He's out. So now I'm by myself. So now remember, I'm hit with the hockey stick. My equilibrium's all off. Boom, I collapse. I turn around, right? The kid's coming at me with the hockey stick and the kid behind him with the knife. I lift my leg up, whacks me in the leg, right? I turn around to get away, hits me again on the back, fall, chip my teeth. I'm just a kid, right? The kid with the knife's almost here. I turn around. I was screaming, I'm a kid, because I was really a kid. These kids are like in their 20s. I was scared. I wound up taking off, stayed at my friend's house that night. His mom was a doctor. She put me in the bathtub. You know, just took care of me that night.
You didn't get stabbed, though. You were close.
No, yeah, I was close. And these guys...
I was waiting for these guys. I was waiting for the story to fucking stick the 17-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? You know, like, and I remember that, like, back in the day, people used to get fucking stuck all the time.
Yeah.
And, like, not saying it's good that they should today, but, like, today everybody be getting in trouble. And not saying people should be stabbing anybody at all. But, like, it was almost, like, kind of normal on the regular.
Crazy. They're shooting
not saying
everybody.
it's good.
Yeah,
but, like, you know... And I was saying, I've said this before, bro, no one could get away with anything ever again, bro. Like, and one day I was driving down neighborhoods and I was going, let me just see how many Ring cameras on the doors, right? And I'm looking, I'm going, it was odd if a house didn't have it. Right. So if anybody ever gets away with anything, there's something fishy about it because there's a camera in every motherfucker everywhere. That's why I'm like, yo, you can't get away with shit. If you get away with murder today, you should be working for the United States government. Really, I'm telling you, that's how hard it is. Because I just took it, I'm like, you know, and like, yo, you saw Black Mass, right? Whitey Bulger? You saw Black Mass? I mean, of course you saw it. And I love the part. He tells his son, he's like, if nobody's seen it, it didn't happen. Right. And you're thinking, I'm like, I want to, I don't know. I kind of like want to tell maybe my son, I don't know, but like, yo, there's no one seeing it. Everybody's got their motherfucking phone out. Right. Everybody's got to do this. I'm like... Oh my God, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just a different world.
Mind your business, you know?
I
always mind my business. If I see like a innocent girl getting, you know, beat up, I'm gonna help her out. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
But any altercation, a guy's fighting, I'm not gonna stop to see who wins. I'm gonna keep it moving.
No.
You know,
but like, dude, I was watching something on Instagram with them. I'm like, yo, when somebody, it was a test. They showed, and it was people walking by. I was in the city and there was like an alley and some dude grabbed the kid and ran down an alley and the kid acted like he was all fucking like, help. Do you know those people that walked by and just kept going? I'm going, And there was actually a girl actually like put her shit down and ran after the guy.
Wow.
And like one of the, but you know, most people walked by it.
Right.
Me,
Different day now.
not sound like I'm fucking Superman, but bro, I don't know. I would definitively run them and be like, yo, what the fuck is going on here? You know, and they'd be like, oh, it's my son. Maybe find out that he's just crying over toys or some shit. I don't know. Do you know what I'm saying? But like,
Right.
I'm like, how could you walk by and not think about that later? Do you know? And that was a real thing, like showing how fucked up people are. You know, and another scary thing, because I'm a parent, right? And like these things come through my feed, obviously, and there's so much kidnapping in the world now. And yo, it's fucking scary, bro. Like they showed the situation. It was in a different country. They showed a mom and a daughter in a garage and they're playing. These couple walked by. I thought she's not paying attention, obviously, but it's the camera angled looking. And then she stopped, asked the mom something. The mom went inside to get something. She saw this opportunity. The fat woman started grabbing the child. And then the mom came out and started like smashing her. And then someone else saw it. And then they got in the car and ran. You know, I'm envisioning, I would love to take that fat girl, tie her up, tie her legs together and fucking, you know, sledgehammer her legs like in that movie fucking, you know, what is it, with the fat chick and the fucking guy who wrote the book. I can't remember, and broke his legs and tortured him and cut his fingers off and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do to these people though. What was it called?
Law-abiding citizen, not that
no,
movie. That's
that was a good
movie.
one too.
That's
a good, yo, if someone's going to do something to your family, that I'm like, yo,
put the picture of the family on the glasses, right? Or on
you
the mirror.
think of like, you know, if you were to torture somebody that you hated the most who did something to your mother, that is like, yo, I don't know if I could think of a better way.
Yeah, that's some movie. That's
He's
one
like,
of my favorite movies.
Kept them alive. Yeah. I know, I love that part. And he kept them alive the whole time. Or like in, what movie was that? It was old. You've seen Seven, obviously. With Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
That's why
I don't really remember it though.
Really? So what it was, Seven Deadly Sins. Right? So it was Brad Pitt was, I guess, he was and Morgan Freeman, they were like, I guess, murder investigators, right? And then they were after somebody, and it was a serial killer, and what he was doing, he was following the 7 deadly sins.
Wow.
One was gluttony, sloth, or whatever, and one of them was, I guess it was lust. It might have been that one. And when they found the guy in the fucking hotel room, he looked like a corpse laying there with all air fresheners, and you think he was dead. All of a sudden, he started moving and shit. He kept them alive for years, shooting with a drum, but dude, he was rotting away. But what he did, he took a Polaroid, it's old movies, of every day and showing him rotting away for his sins he has to pay for.
Wow.
Yo, it's a good movie. You got to watch it. But that's like another way. I'm like, yo, I would like to fucking, that's a good one.
I try to, you know, I really try to protect all my energy now. And this may sound corny. I don't even try to watch scary movies. I don't even try to watch, because then you have those scary shit in your brain, especially if it's before you go into bed, you know?
Yo, talk about like corny shit, right? Like motivation shit. Yo, like anything that could help you and whatever my journey or my life is now. And I'm at a certain point in my life. Yes, I do listen to motivational shit. And yes, I do like it.
Yeah.
I don't waste my time on bullshit. I find a lot of things a waste of time.
Absolutely.
Right? And yes,
we have no time to waste. That's the one thing we can't waste, right? We can waste money.
All you have is time.
You get it back. So that's why I'm huge into longevity. And
well, it's another thing for your clients, right? What do we have? Is just time.
Right.
Right? So when are you going to get your fat ass in shape?
Right.
When you want to.
Yeah.
You know, tomorrow, week. And there's another thing I tell clients. I go, brother, listen.
Oh, Monday. I'll start Monday. No, start now.
Now. Start now.
How? You want me to work out now?
There is no Monday.
Exactly. I don't want you to work out now. I want you to, your next meal is going to be good.
What do you think I do, bro? I don't do Monday. I go, yo, I ate like shit, bro. I go, yo, I'm just going to eat the next meal pretty clean.
Monday's
the next meal pretty clean. Yo,
a lot of people
together.
Design their programs too like that. Oh, Monday this. No. Why can't it be Sunday? Well, it's the names of days.
Just do it.
Are you going to die on a Wednesday? Are you going to die on a Saturday?
The reality is this. I tell people this, right, with the normal people. And this is good for you to tell people, right? It's like, you know, what's going to happen is this, right? We're going to get off the phone, right? And you're going to carry on with your life. And you're going to think about it. Where, honestly, the next guy, I'm going to help him. And I'm going to pass you by. And I was here to help you. And you're going to keep going on another day, another year, and then you're going to be in the fucking ground. How much time do we have?
Right.
So you make the decision. What do you want to do?
The sooner the better, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the reality. It's not me trying to close
Literally,
you.
the sooner the better.
I'm trying to close you to better yourself, motherfucker.
Right.
That's what it is. I'm really genuinely, bro. I really do like seeing people getting results. And yo, you can do this, bro. It's not that fucking hard. Do a little bit of work, clean up your food a little bit, and fucking just do it.
And this should be number one. This is before.
Or they don't know where to start, and Brooklyn Tank's here to help you.
Yeah, body weight first. Master your body mechanics, you know. A lot of people want to bench press when they can't even do 20 push-ups. That's really bad for you. You're going to lift now, weight, stationary.
Just started a little bit, bro. A little bit's better than nothing. I said doing something's better than nothing.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I know I don't have time. Yes, you do. And I'm going to tell you a good book to read, by the way. Yeah, I don't have any time. Yes, you do have time. The time you spent jerking off to porn on your phone.
Everybody has
or the
time.
time that you fucking obsessed about a professional player who don't give two fucks about you, whether if you live forever or die tomorrow,
Right.
which is sad.
Yeah.
Someone that smart dude I was talking about, he goes, it's very sad when you see a man wearing another man's jersey. Think about that. Do you think that guy gives two fucks about
I
you?
can never be that type of person, man. My girlfriend was just saying somebody had a tattoo of like their favorite sports team. Come on, man. You getting that New York Mets tattoo because you like the Mets? Are you kidding me? To me, that's just funny.
I get it. You're a Mets fan, I'm a Yankees fan, whatever, right?
I ain't getting a
Cool.
sports team, mommy.
The older I got, yes, it's cool, it's professional sports, and like I'm so fucking busy and it's crazy. I kind of fell off a lot, you know. But now my son's getting older, and like I watch it more now because he's so into it. It's cool, but like I know dudes, and yo, follow your team, follow sports with a certain. I know guys, dude, they know how they practice, bro. How they're gonna play. I'm like, yo, you need something else, brother. Like that's sad.
Where are you? You know, where are you? Like, who are you?
You know, meanwhile,
what are you going to
they
become
have,
in this
they have,
one life?
They have Pringles in their belly button.
Yeah.
You know, they look like they haven't shaven since October. You know what I'm saying?
They could do better.
Absolutely,
It
bro.
comes down to the mindset. Who do you want to be? What do you know?
And yo, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. You look good. I think a certain level of vanity is good. Yes, it is. It's a reflection of how you are through everything in your life. Take someone who looks like a pile of shit, right? Like shaped shit.
And he
in
feels like
clothes.
shit. Because if he looks
Right?
like that, more than likely he's feeling
And what
like
I've
that,
seen
lazy.
they do, they try to fill that gap with everything else, bro. Like,
Right.
I don't give a fuck about your fucking car. I don't give a fuck about this.
Right.
Right? You are clearly unhappy because you look like a melted upside down piece of cottage cheese with a pair of jeans on. Right? That's the truth of the power.
And this, you see, materialistic things, right? The guy's a nice car. This, it could all be taken away, right? He gets a nice girlfriend. The girlfriend's pretty, right? Makes him so happy. She leaves, now he's not happy. You know why? Because he's not happy with himself, what he does every day. If you're someone that's exercising every day, getting results, you're happy with you. You don't need money. You don't need nothing. All you need is you. You know, that mindset of I'm going to be better. I'm going to be stronger. I'm going to live longer. I'm going to live healthier. Because that's my whole goal, too, behind my training is when I'm in my 60s and 70s, I want to be traveling the world.
Bro, I got a question for you.
In good shape.
Not to cut you off. This is a good question, right? And he's got it. And I have the answer to this, and I'm going to give you my answer. I ask you, if you were on an island, and this is the one I want to ask you. If you were stuck on an island, right? Forever, eternity, like Castaway, and you could bring 3 things with you, what would you bring? Forever, what would you bring?
Forever. To live there forever, to
That's
be
it.
healthy,
You got
to
to
be
live
strong
there forever.
forever.
You got to bring 3 things.
A pull-up bar. Eggs.
I'm going to stop you there. That's a bad choice. You got a fucking tree. You could go again.
All right.
Get another chance.
All right. I like it. Oh, this is tough. What would I bring? I'm on an island. What would I bring? 3 girls.
Boom. There you go. There's your answer.
You know, 3 different girls, 3 different flavors.
So here we could fill the gap. You got a pull-up bar. You could curl coconuts, right? And you'll fucking kill your animals for meat. That's a
Right.
good choice.
Right.
There's your 3 girls. Good idea. I don't know if your girlfriend's gonna love that one, but there you go.
That's all right.
Right? You get your water. You take
I'm
your
on the
fucking
island
pineapple
stranded.
leaf.
She don't care.
That's how he thought. There we go. I'm gonna bring 3 girls.
Yeah,
right?
she wouldn't mind if I'm on the island stranded.
So I'm going to cheat on this because I got to think about it, but I give you the same answer every time, right? So I'll bring this. Ready? Like I said, the resistance training, I'll fucking do pull-ups with go ahead and shit on my back and squat and do push-ups or whatever, right? I would bring cheeseburgers, right? I would bring bottles of endless amounts of testosterone, definitive. And I would bring, can I bring technology, Zane? Could I bring technology? Let me see.
Yeah,
What was the
guess.
third? I think I said, well, I think I said laptop for porn. If I have porn, testosterone, cheeseburgers,
Just give me the 3 girls. I'm good with that.
I'll bring my wife. All the wife don't count.
Different heights, different weights, all different flavors. Let me pick though.
This is how you know how his brain thinks. I
Yeah, because
fucked
then I
him
could
up.
swim. I could hunt for fish. I could
Bro,
climb the
the
tree.
exercise is easy,
Yeah.
and you can't.
What's gonna
fucking-
keep me happy? That's what's gonna keep me happy.
There you go. Because you and I could work out with nothing. You know, we'll figure. I'll take fucking leaves and fold them together and do some shit. Pile. You know what I'm saying, right? What can't you bring there? I can't bring testosterone. I can't make it there. All right, I'm gonna bring that. I need that so my fucking dick works and I feel good, right? What could I do? What else? cheeseburgers would be pretty hard. Where am I going to make buns out of? Fucking rocks? No, I need cheeseburgers, right? And then, you know, that's also protein. What else could I bring? I don't know if I should make technology one of them. Let me make that again. But that was my stupid first answer. Whatever, that's how my brain works, you know. Anyway.
That's great.
That was funny, right? Anyway, brother. Yeah, man. So fucking, like I said, this is a conversation about fitness stories. Now, dude, honestly, like talking loose, forget the camera. Yeah. Like growing up though, right? You had to eat to a certain level like I did. Or like you grew up in like a toxic house. Like, I don't know. Like my house, this is my house, right? It was toxic, but half functioning.
I hear you. Same.
Toxic and functioning, right? So my mom, right now knowing and I don't want to smash on my family, but like, yo, I grew up like normal, but not, you know? And it was actually good. And I'm actually grateful for it because it made me mentally tougher. And also in the negative where I'm a little fucked up, but it was good and bad, right? So in the aspect of like family, like toxic, but there was always like crazy, you know, real food. I thought like I was neglected because the middle school I went to where I live, I'm like, all these kids got Lunchables and shit and whatever. Why don't I got that? Meanwhile, I was the weird kid with the fucking rice and meanwhile, my parents were doing the best thing for me because they ate real food my whole life. Yeah. Right? And, you know, and like, you know, crazy brother I was telling you about, my mom was bouncing fucking things off his head and my dad flying and my brother into wall. But this is how I knew my mom was off the charts. So I don't know if you know or not. Foreigners have no filter. None. Right. Whatever comes out their mouth, right? So, and I'm going to tell the story. I don't know if I ever told anybody. So I used to like, you know, neighborhood fucking this and whatever, right? So my boy pushed me off a skateboard and I fell and I broke my arm, right? But there was 2 kids up the block who I didn't like. Right? Fucking didn't like the whole family. Came home, my arm was broken. Who did it? I said, the kid I don't like did it when I was alive. My mom fucking, I didn't expect, she grabbed me up the block. I'm a little kid, bro. Up the block, bro, by herself. She's like 5'1", but angry. She knocks on the door. She's a big fat mom. They argue. My mom's fucking, whatever she's yelling, half Korean, half English. I don't know, right? My mom turns her back. She pushes my mom. My mom turned around, fucked her up. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I started this. Shit. But my mom is crazy, like totally insane. Yeah. And then I didn't grow up with like, oh, I love you, tough love. Like my Korean grandmother who doesn't speak English to this day, right? I don't think I ever got a hug from her. She goes, Vincent, good.
Oh, shit.
But it was, you know, it's cool. That's the way they are.
Yeah.
But the rest of them are tight and shit, very tight together, you know?
I grew up with a lot of love, man. My mom showed a lot of love, got us whatever we wanted, you know, even though we weren't like, you know, we middle class, borderline middle class, like, you know, and she still somehow got us what we wanted, still made each Christmas.
That's great.
The best. Yeah. So, and showed us a lot of love. I think that's real important because that's what life's about. At the end of the day, it's about love. It's not about hate. So I try to get all the hate out of my heart. I think I've been doing a good job the past 10 years, you know, even when it's
you
like,
got issues too. That's why I brought it up.
Yeah. But you know, honestly, man, I had some issues, and those issues would only come out when I was like under the influence of alcohol. You know, that's
and every family has issues. You and I both know that.
Absolutely. But yeah, I wanted to talk about what was it? Back to when I was.
I need a Zin. Take a 2-second break.
Yep.
Right back. What do you want to talk about?
Forgot what it was. What was it?
Oh, here it is. What, how Zane's really a fucking
What's that?
Sleeper cell? You don't, this, bro. Don't do them. You'll like them.
Good.
You're from Brooklyn. You don't do these. From where else? It's all these jujitsu guys turn me on to this.
He does jujitsu?
Who, Zane?
Yeah.
Fucking choke fucking white people out like a motherfucker.
Sick. That's cool. Fuck, what was I going to say?
You know jujitsu guys?
Yeah.
They're all fucking weird science.
Yeah, they're all cool.
Like him.
A lot of my friends, they train over here at Renzo Gracie.
Yeah, Henzo's. Yeah.
That's
another Henzo school here?
Oh, yeah. It's a good one, too. The guy, Enzo, runs it.
Henzo. You say R like an H and whatever.
Gotcha. Henzo
Portuguese.
Gracie. But the guy's name is Enzo, too.
Enzo.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. And Edgar and his son Sebastian. Yeah, Sebastian. Cool. So Sebastian, he takes my classes. Love Sebastian. Sebi. And Devon. So Devon I used to box with. Yeah, Devon I used to box with. We used to go to Roos Thompson, Staten Island. Yeah, Devon's awesome, man. And he's gaining weight now.
Do you know
Yeah.
Nicky? Do you know Nicky Rod is jiu-jitsu guy? He's one of the best no-gi jiu-jitsu practitioners or athletes in the world. He's a kid. So we went down to Austin, Texas, right? And we did a podcast down there. It'd be good also if you did something like that. It's a different audience. That's why you get followers and shit. And he's in shape. He's good looking.
For sure.
Dude, he's a fucking total physical freak. So one, I just knew him from Instagram and he's cool. He's a kid. Went down there. And when I walked into in their academy B team, right? They got like a squad. Like people fly from all over the country and go there. When I walked in there, right? He's built like a jacked surfer, natural body. People accuse him of steroids. He doesn't use steroids, right? And this is how I knew he was a physical freak. And they were playing spike ball. You know what spike ball is? I didn't ever was like. It looks like, you know what it is or no? It's like a beach game, I guess, and what they do, it's like a net in the middle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's like a trampoline. They spike it and they fucking, it's like Tennessee River, right? Dude, the fucking ball was like 10 feet. He dove in midair, hit it, and then did like a tumble back up to his feet like a ballerina.
Yeah.
Right?
Sick athleticism.
And then when they were rolling, he had some fucking big fucking savage who just never lifted weights and just shredded and huge. And they were going scrambling hard, bro. The guy escaped. He fucking spider monkey jumped like, seriously, like 7 feet, latched on his back and choked him. I went, oh my God, bro.
Sick.